Hi guys, welcome back on board to the Crypto Cruiser. It's me Chris, and today we're going to talk about Litecoin. We're going to talk some fundamentals, what Litecoin is all about, what makes it unique. We're going to talk some chart analysis, Litecoin compared to the dollar, USD, and LTC compared to BTC, the Bitcoin chart. We're going to talk some traditional markets, S&P 500, where they're heading, some potential price targets by the end of the week, where I think S&P 500 will end up. And of course, we're going to start with the Bitcoin chart, the single biggest indicator of where all the crypto asset classes will go. So let's get started, guys. So as I've predicted, from prices of above 100,000, once we hit 100,000, then potentially I'm anticipating a correction. So we already tested this price of around 90,000, but my personal opinion, of course, anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice, it's for pure entertainment purposes. And before you do anything, do diligence and make your own research, because as I've said, that's not a financial advice. But I've said many times. I mean, I've been posting this chart for quite some time. I think over a month. So I had two scenarios. Either we're gonna. So basically, we went above 100,000. And then we never actually tested this previous yearly resistance line. Acted twice as resistance in April of 2021 at price of around 64,000, and then we tested it again November of 2021 at price of around 69,000, and we actually managed to break above it in November. And November was a monstrous month. I mean, from price of around 66. We went all the way to 100,000, so that's a huge upside momentum. Just crazy. And nothing goes in a straight up line, and that's what I've told you. From price of around 100,000, I'm anticipating to go below 90,000 and potentially to prices between 85, 87,000. This is it. Test this previous yearly resistance line, we turn it into support, and then potentially we're going to have more continuation of the trend, and potentially by the end of the year or early next one, by end of January, I anticipate Bitcoin to start hitting price of above 110,000. After that, who knows? I mean, of course, you can clearly see there's a huge correction, and potentially something like that can play out. But let's just take one trade at a time. I mean, so far, my chart analysis has been playing out quite well. I mean, from price of around 70,000 since I launched my channel, I've told you we're going to drop to prices below 60,000, and then potentially we're going to go and test prices of below 50,000, and that's exactly what we did. From around 50,000, we had a huge bounce to price. I called this a local top here at price of around 65,000, and then we had another pullback, price lower at 52. I've called that move here as well, and then of course the all-time highs at potentially price of above 100,000. I mean, if you've been following me, you've been quite successful so far. I'm calling this correction right now that potentially we're gonna drop to price of around 85, 87,000. Let's see how exactly it's gonna play out. But so far so good. When it comes to S&P 500, I nailed these markets as well. I called this ABC correction, 10% on the downside. And I told you, a V-shaped recovery. I think my very first video was a V-shaped recovery, so the proof is in the pudding, is out there. And if you haven't watched it, watch it. We went there to a previous all-time highs at price of around 5,650. We couldn't break it, and I've told you we're gonna come back. We test this previous yearly resistance line. I mean, not yearly, previous twice S resistance, acted twice S resistance. We turn it into support, and then we're going to have more continuation of the trend and start hitting prices of above 6,000, and that's exactly what we had. Once we hit 6,000, I anticipate a little bit of a pullback to this local top at price of around 5,850. We turn, as I've said, this local top into support, and then we're going to have more continuation of the trend and potentially hit a price of around 6,100. What else we formed? A reverse head and shoulders, which is a bullish signal, and measure from the head to the bottom. The price target should be above 6,250, and that's what exactly I'm actually anticipating to happen by the. I mean, probably by February, March. I'm not going to be surprised, or even late January to start hitting price of above 6,250, and potentially by quarter 2, quarter 3, come to this resistance at price of around 6,600. That's something in the charts. I mean, S&P 500 looks extremely bullish. As I've said, Bitcoin chart looks extremely bullish. I'm just giving you a quick update. Of course, we're gonna have a short correction in the immediate short term, but after that, I anticipate more upside momentum. Um, and let's talk about Litecoin. I think Litecoin has more upside. And I mean, I've posted multiple times that, in my personal opinion, um, Litecoin can actually reach $1,000. Why do I think so? Because we already went almost $140, so that's around 8x from what it was, or 10x from what it is right now. The circulating supply is 75 million, the circulating supply, and the maximum supply is 84 million. Uh, but at the time of recording, more importantly, it's 75 million. So in order for one Litecoin to reach $1,000, that would be 75 billion market cap. Is that crazy valuation? Of course, 75 billion is a massive amount, but regardless, we have to look at it from that perspective of what happened the previous bull cycle, and coins such as Dogecoin, which is just a meme coin. Of course, there's a lot of hype behind it, but at the end of the day, I don't think Dogecoin has the same fundamentals as Litecoin. And Litecoin has survived multiple bull markets, bear markets. Every single bull market we're hitting an all-time high, so that's a very good indicator that it's a bullish structure. It's a bullish chart structure. So potentially, I think this bull cycle in 2025, Litecoin can reach $1,000. Of course, something can go wrong, and Litecoin can easily go to zero. So that's why I'm always saying do diligence and make your own research before you make your decision. Because at the end of the day, no one can predict the future. And if I just give you an example, I think if Bitcoin is the gold standard, Litecoin is actually the silver, and when it comes to the metal markets, and the silver is way more undervalued than gold, and in this same case scenario, Litecoin is very much undervalued. Of course, that's just my personal opinion. Um, let's just talk about some chart analysis and how this thing can potentially play out. Um, let's just have some history, and if history is any indicator, we have to measure that move from October of 2013, price of around 25 cents. We went all the way to 55 dollars. So that's around I think around 100x in a matter of 2 months. Of course, the market cap then was very much undervalued. um, if we measure it from February of 2017 to the previous in when the bull cycle finished in 2017, by December, we reached $370. So from around I mean, at certain point we even went $1. So again, 300x we did here in 2017. And the previous bull cycle from March, when we've bottomed, when COVID happens, the price of around $24, we went all the way to 300, and we went above $400. And as you can clearly see, we have multiple touch points on the upper trend line at prices of around 370 and 430. So potentially we can go and test these price of around $460, $500 by June, July of next year. But I'd like to see more upside momentum, and I've drawn this trend line here on, as you can clearly see, that we've tested three times in July of 2023, in March of 2024, and April of 2024 at price of between $112 and $115. Um, we we went above it. Of course, we went above it. I just want to see, but as you can clearly see, that at this particular moment, it looks like a fake out. We are still consolidating beneath this trend line. I think Sooner than later, we'll snap out of it. We'll test this price of around $150, and then we're gonna have more continuation, and we can quickly snap first 220, 215, and then quickly to around $280, $300. Potentially, then we're gonna have a huge correction again and test all-time high prices of around 450 and test this upper trend line, as I've mentioned, by June, July of 2025, by quarter two of next year. And of course, since we had quite a lot of, we had, as I've said, if we go and test it another again, that will be a third time, and third time potentially this can be our lucky charm, and we can go above. We break out of this resistance line. We go above 470, 480. We turn into support, and then we can quickly snap to price of above $1,000 for Litecoin. This is something in the charts that I'm seeing. Of course, we can easily do something like that. If something goes wrong, we never break out of it, and we can, potentially we can go lower prices. No one can predict the future. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but this is just something that I'm anticipating. This is just my personal opinion. And when it comes to Litecoin compared to the Bitcoin chart, what I'm seeing is this huge falling wedge that we've broke out of it actually. And Litecoin, if something like that plays out, Litecoin can go way further than $1,000, because if we measure it, if that's a huge falling wedge and we actually break out of it, Litecoin can go absolutely nuts. Of course, let's just have more upside momentum. Let's just break out of this resistance line first. We turn it to support, then we start taking out these local tops here that we formed in December of 2021 and November of 2021, price of around $212, $14, potentially to $300, and then all-time highs. We have full price discovery and potentially $2,000, and let's see how exactly it's gonna play out. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And yes, if you want to subscribe to my Patreon and get my two books, The Art of Chart Analysis, over 70 pages, filled with very useful information of how to become a sophisticated trader, and gain quite a lot of knowledge in the art of chart analysis, and my other book, the Crypto Guidebook. You can do that by subscribing to my Patreon. I'll give it for absolutely free. And of course, with that subscription comes exclusive content with the most undervalued, underappreciated coins out there. Some of them 50, 100x potential. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.